Okay, easy sound modules, right? Someone asked me to take a look into sound modules and what we can do to add sound to dioramas or whatever. Sure enough, I started looking around, and I had a job that I was doing with the sawmill, okay? So I went and I got some of these because I was doing sawmill anyway, and I needed a sawmill sound. So, not just DCC sounds anymore, okay? You can now put sound in livestock cars, right? If you're in that area.
I got modules for my mechanical reapers from Rapida.
There you go. Reaper sounds, depot announcements, right? Factory, sawmill, Babbling Brook River. You got a river? You need some river sound when somebody's near it. Huh? Waterfalls, land traffic. You got a town, right? You need some honking horns and stuff like that. Grade crossings, right? It's nice to have the ding, 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 and then the ka-tum, ka-tum. Okay. So it's not just for DCC sound anymore. So what we'll need a sound module. Right? There they are. Right? It's absolutely amazing. Right? We're going to need a power supply. Here's a power supply. This came out of old charger for an old flip phone.
I got a box.
Okay. There's your 5 volts. Right? What else? How can we use it? Well, if you want this thing to be moving, you need your wheel pickups. By the way, DCC. Is that AC or DC?
DC. I would define it as square waves with different pulse waves.
It's pulsating DC. The current only flows in one direction. Okay? It's either on or off, but it only flows in one direction. It's DC. You can hook a DC converter up to it without having to have a bridge and a cap and all that stuff. Right? Right? To rectify it and then filter it. You don't need it. Right? It's DC. So you stick one of these things in. However, these little ones that I got here are 5 volt. Okay? So you're going to need to down convert them somehow. Well, sure enough, that'll fit inside a boxcar. Right? $2.47. This is a 40 volt to 1.7 volt input, and it's any output in there, so long as it's a volt and a half above whatever, a whole volt and a half below whatever your supply voltage is. So you can get 12 volts at most. DCC is 16 or whatever your power supply.
The accuracy on the NMRA?
Yeah.
They're very accurate.
They're very accurate. Okay. Static, right? Land-based, 5 volt DC bus, or you can, if you've got 12 volts or whatever, 24 around your layout, you use one of these guys again and you regulate it down to 5 volts. Speaker enclosure, okay? I used what's called the woofer design for my speaker enclosure. All right? Sounds. Where do you get sounds? They're all over the internet. What kind of sounds do you want? Right? MP3s is the first choice for these guys. All right? They will take others, but they want you to convert it to MP3 and use an MP3. Okay? You can also use there's an audio ripper in Chrome. I don't know if any of you know that. That works so well. It will rip it. There's also a video ripper, but you have to pay for that one. But there's an audio ripper that will rip any audio in Chrome. As a matter of fact, hold on just a second. We'll go look. Let's see, it's Window D, right? We'll go over here, and there it is right there. Look what it says. Chrome Audio Capture. It's a, what do you call it? Add-on. Free. What?
Plug-in?
It's a plug. It's not even a plug-in. It's one of these guys over here. Manage. No.
It's already in the program.
It's already in it. All you do is turn it on.
Extension, yeah.
Extension. Manage extensions and turn it on. Okay? So, all you got to do is start. Look at this. Control-Shift-S to start. Control-Shift-X to stop. And when you stop, it'll say, where do you want to call it? What do you want to call it? And where do you want to save it? So you could be in a movie. You could be like we were. You find sounds and you play them, right? You turn this on and turn it back off again. You've captured that sound, even though they don't want you to. Even though it's proprietary, you can just audio capture this, and it works very well.
Just a note on that, as long as you use it for yourself, it's all right. If you put it on YouTube or any website or anywhere else, when you're violating their copyright.
That's right. Right. So
I deal with that weekly.
This is why I said you can put it on your layout, right, and make noises for your layout. Okay. But so anyway, yeah, this is it's in there. So. It's called the Audio Ripper, and you rip it in Chrome. It works very well. Let's go to the sound module first. Okay, this is an 8 meg recordable, right? With an MP3 at 8 megs, it's about a minute per meg, right, with MP3. So you've got 8 minutes on this guy, which is a lot, all right? It's a lot. Look at that, $6.30. Got to pay some postage and stuff in there. This is also important. You can use an Arduino or the button that comes with it, or the two wires for the button, right? And this is pulled down. Okay, so when you hit the button, you're taking the control lead and you're pulling it to ground. Okay, you're not like adding voltage. So that's what you do with an Arduino. You'd be setting that output to 0. Right? You set it to off, and you would turn it on, okay? Let's see, what's next? Power supply. Anyway, that's the module. Right?
Can I ask, the 8 minutes, is that the extent of the sound? Yeah, you're doing your sawmill, for instance, it plays for 8 minutes, or what do you mean by 8 minutes?
You can have up to 8 minutes of all kinds of different sounds if you want. Okay, but the duration is after 8 minutes, it stops.
8 minutes of recording.
8 minutes of recording time. You don't have to use all of the recording time because there's an end of recording marker. And it reads that marker and it goes back to the beginning again. It doesn't restart, it goes back to the beginning.
Can you set it up to loop?
You can set it up to loop. You can set it up to do all kinds of things. Okay? And that's in the paperwork I gave you.
Yeah, I found it. Looking for the MP3 sounds.
Yeah.
Place that has the good sounds either want you to purchase the sounds, or they have, you know, how photographs and they put it in there, something like sample across the photograph.
Yeah.
They have a sound thing like that.
Mm-hmm. But there's somebody in the background saying, but that's only some places.
Well, they're trying to protect your product.
Of course, right? I'll tell you what I did when I was looking. I went to the Tsunami website, okay? And every single one of their sounds is available, right? And all you got to do is turn that ripper on, play the sound, turn it off, you got it. And we're going to see how to use something like that, use those kinds of sounds in just a minute.
Those are the sources at the top there?
Yeah, this is IC Station, okay, and there it is, www.icstation, okay. I don't have a handout for it, but there's another company that you should also look at. It's absolutely amazing, which is Temu, T-E-M-U. Right? Put that in your search engine.
For sound source?
Well, no, for any kind of, these come from Temu, $2.47. Okay, power supply, right? And there it is, Temu, www.temu.com, okay? $2. Oh, I got mine for $2.18. Okay, $2.18. Okay, this is 4.5 to 45 volts, right? It's 3 amp, I believe.
You got those things really cheap if you get
Right there.
straight from China.
Yeah.
And China's got a new deal going now where they've got this special package they send us. I just got 10 of those in the mail yesterday, and it only took about 8 or 9 days for me to get them from China.
That's it. It's getting very, very good. Okay, so power supply, right?
The one that you used before.
Yeah.
Like that.
This guy here.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have 2 buttons.
okay.
Yeah.
So the enclosure. I don't know if any of you ever done enclosure designs for speakers. Okay.
I used to do that for a living.
Okay. Well, this is a base enclosure for a round speaker. Cut the numbers simply, right? Not all those spiffy ones, right? You come down with a ratio of 1.666, 1 2/3 to 1. So the width should be 1 2/3 times the cone. This is for round cone speakers, right? Times the diameter of the cone. The length should be the same, 1.66. So a square enclosure is best for the round.
Claiming that's going to give you information on your free air and loaded resonance.
Yes.
You know what this is? Do you know what this is?
It's a filter.
Okay. You're operating in this area. No, I'm not doing it like you said, operating dead in the middle, right? It's a round. These are roundabout numbers, but they work really good. And the enclosure depth should be 1 to 1. Okay, this is for from 440 down to. It's surprising the amount of bass you can get out of this. We're going to find out in a minute. Okay, so sure enough, I made it. There it is. Okay.
Back pressure on the tone won't sound quite as good.
Now, all I did up here, this happens to have some RTV, a little tiny layer of RTV on it, right? And I'm going to put this top like that. Okay. And I got some rubber bands, which I'll put on there in just a minute.
What's your material?
It's plastic. It's 40 millimeter.
At all?
Huh? Nope, not reinforced at all.
And the compressed
Acts like a pump, right? Okay.
I understand.
That's why you don't make speaker enclosures out of 1/4 inch steel. Right?
Oh, if you would, that would be good.
Yeah, it would be better. Yeah, you want 0, right? But I don't. Okay. All right. So sounds, where do we get them? They're only MP3 or WAV files for this particular module. There are some that will take a lot of different other kinds of. There's one for like $6. It takes like 12 different audio formats. Where to get all kinds of sounds? Well, there's MixKit is one, right? Free sound effects on anything. There's 28,000 sounds. You want a cow, you want a pig, you want a dog, you want a side. What? MIXKIT? It's right up there.
Right up there.
It's right up there. There it is. MixKit, right? So these are all kinds of sounds. And Zapsplat is another one. These are all freebies, right? And you use that little Chrome audio ripper, and you can rip them, okay? And here's the one I was talking about. You go to Soundtracks, reference sound samples, and this opens up the Tsunami site, and all the Tsunami sounds for all of their, they're packed into all of their sound decoders are listed. And you pick the ones you want. Okay? So, let's load a file and play. 2 things about this module, and you read, if you buy one, you read it in the instructions, right? And that is, you cannot have the power supply and a USB hooked up at the same time. Okay? Because you'll fry it.
Yep.
So the power's off USB then, or the loading?
No. On a USB, you have two power lines and two signal lines. So this happens to be
Power and USB.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
The power's off the USB when you're loading sound.
right when you're loading sounds, right? But this is a USB to A, which is a male, to a micro B. For this module, right? Do not plug it into a 3, USB 3. Don't do it, right? I tried it.
High voltage?
Huh? No, the transfer rate is way too high. So all you get is right.
It says in downward capacity.
The thing about audio is low frequency, right? You don't need this huge bandwidth, right? But USB 3 is, you can actually send fairly good video over it. It's very wide bandwidth. So they try to load it at that frequency. The bandwidth's way too high. Okay, so I'm going to plug this guy in. So, sure enough, it's up there. Let's load a file. Let's see. So, I'm going to go look at it first and see if it's there. And sure enough, there it is. Okay. That's all that's there. And then I'm going to... Okay. So, and up here in the desktop, sure enough, we have our, whatever it is. Yeah, right here. Okay, let's load this guy. This is 606 kilobytes. Nowhere near 8 megabytes.
Built a building in Birmingham one time, and their mainframe, which took up, you could walk inside their computer. And the control for it was 1 gigabyte, and it cost $3 million.
Yeah. Okay, well, so now I'm going to disconnect the USB. I'm going to use it again, so I'll leave it connected. And I'm going to plug in 5 volts.
I remember my first hard drive was 5 megabytes, and I'm sitting there thinking, how will I ever feel that stuff there?
Now I'm going to push the button, okay? Kind of tinny,
Would you believe?
isn't it?
Stick it over the box now. No,
No, wait a minute. What did I do? Yeah.
there you go. That's what I was on the
Actually, that sound coming off the back of that speaker kind of nulls it out.
Oh, but
What about that with the box?
yeah, you get rid of the tinny though.
Nulls it out.
See, the high frequencies go down, but the bass frequencies come up. Okay? So it's not a tweeter box, it's a bass box. Okay? So, you see the difference between no enclosure and an enclosure. Okay? By the way, let's do that again. You want to see how loud this sucker gets? It gets a lot. That's only 1/4 the volume. Okay? Right. You turn the pot and the volume goes up. A lot.
Trying to drive it up into flipping.
Okay. So, but wah, wah, wah. I can't find the file that I want. I can only find pieces, right? I want to add them together or concatenate, put one after the other. I want to space them apart. How about layering them one on top of the other? How the heck do I do that? Well, you do that with this fantastic program, Wondershare-NMRA, which Ken is now going to tell us about, okay?
What we're going to do for the next few minutes is demonstrate how you can layer sounds. We're using a program that I use every week in order to edit my video, and it's called Wondershare-NMRA. It's a good program, and if you're into video editing, it's something you probably would like to have. But it edits more than just video. You can edit raw audio as well. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be using all of these WAV files, or some of these WAV files, in order to do this demonstration. So we're just going to drag them and drop them into the program, and there they are. Now you can listen to any one of these sounds that you wish. Most of them are very short. See, not much to them. But by combining the sounds, you can get the effect of a locomotive, say, starting, idling for a few minutes, and then shutting down. And that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to start with a cold start of the locomotive, which sounds like this. Sounds like my dad's old car in the winter. Now, once the locomotive is running, then you want to have it continue to idle until we're ready to shut it down. So we're going to use this sound. So we're going to drop that down also onto our first audio track. Now, right now, all you see is one audio track and one blank video track. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to duplicate this sound file a number of times. So we're going to copy it, come down right out here, and we're just going to insert it. So stand by. So there, we have replicated it 50 times. And now let's play what we have. And so you can hear we have a nice consistent sound through the whole thing. Now at the end of this whole thing, we want to stop the locomotive. So there is a stop sound. So we're going to drag that right on to the end of this. And so now we have a minute 59 and seconds and 10 frames of locomotive start up, idle, and shut down. Now let's start layering a few sounds. So let's go back here to the beginning and then come up here about 13 seconds. That's close enough, and we're going to put in the compressor sound right here. I assume if they're going to do an air check or something, they need a sound like this. So we will put that right there, and now play our layers. And as you note, you can't hear the compressor, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring up its volume rather significantly. And there you are. Now, after that, we're going to add a coupling sound. Just going to throw that in there. Doesn't mean it's actually coupling anything, but it adds a good sound. It adds a good sound in that layer. And now we're going to add break off, as if we were actually ready to start rolling. And those are all the sounds we're going to put in our second audio track. So now we're going to go to our third audio track, and we're going to go up here to about 27 seconds or so. And we are going to add a horn sound. And we're going to put it in here twice. So now we have the horn sound over the idling locomotive. And at the very end, we're going to add this sound. So as we shut down, and now let's just go down to our fourth track and add one more sound, and that is the Gluck. And we're going to duplicate this 5 times. And there you have it. What we've done is we have layered 4 audio tracks in order to get the sound of an F7 locomotive starting up, idling, running the compressor, making some other sounds, blowing the horn, ringing the bell, and shutting it down, and it sounds like this. And there you have it, a simple little tutorial on how you can layer sounds in order to get a variety of sound effects all in one track. And you can export this. I can export this to an MP3 file, but in fact I'm exporting it to video because that's what you're watching now.
Okay, so let's, I just loaded the audio of that into the sound module, and we'll play those sounds. What'd you think?
Great.
What we try to do in our clinics here is to introduce everybody to as many different aspects of the technology and as possible, right? So
Very cool.
I hope you liked it.